following file is classified as Level 4, Redacted. If you are hearing this, the blackout failed. Look at the horizon. The ocean is a massive, silent lung that has finally begun to exhale. In February 2026, the Pacific floor dropped 3 inches without a single tectonic plate moving an inch. Standard geology says this is impossible. Rock does not simply compress without a massive seismic release event. Yet the sensors across the Mariana Trench recorded a localized silence so absolute it defied modern physics. Something is down there. Not a creature, not a machine, but a fused biological anomaly, breathing deep. The Navy sonar technicians call it the static mouth, a void that absorbs every ping they send. Mainstream science claims these are just methane hydrate releases, venting from the pressurized crust of the Earth. Methane bubbles do not produce a rhythmic subsonic pulse that matches a human heartbeat. The signal is not random. It is a deliberate, localized broadcast emanating from 7 miles below the surface. Every sonar buoy from Guam to Hawaii is currently picking up the same low-frequency, terrifying vibration. The data suggests the water itself is changing density, turning into something thicker, like a synthetic gel. Commercial pilots flying over the coordinates report seeing geometric shadows shifting beneath the deep blue waves. When the satellites pass over the anomaly, the 2026 imagery comes back as a digital, scrubbed smear. The Pentagon issued a mandatory Area 51 style exclusion zone over 3,000 miles of open water. Official reports say this is a standard naval exercise involving new underwater drone technology and sensor arrays. You do not deploy 3 nuclear carrier strike groups to test a simple scouting drone. The reality is far more disturbing. The ocean floor is no longer made of sand and ancient silt. The rogue NOAA oceanographer who leaked the raw data claims the crust has been surgically replaced. Imagine a layer of organic tissue, miles thick, fused directly into the basalt of the planet's mantle. This is the first glitch, the moment where our understanding of planetary biology enters a total blackout. The acoustic spectrograms show the pulses have moved from chaotic noise into a perfect prime number sequence. Nature does not speak in prime numbers. Only intelligence, or something mimicking intelligence, can do that. The sequence is counting. It is a countdown that began the moment the 2026 calendar year turned. You have been watching this for minutes now. Your brain is trying to rationalize the irrational data. Stop. Your focus is the only thing keeping the chain of evidence from breaking right now. Anchor your presence in the comments below by typing the phrase, "I see the signal," immediately. If you skip even 10 seconds of this briefing, you will lose the thread of the 2026 leak. The signal is increasing in volume. The deep earth pulses are now vibrating the windows of coastal homes. People in coastal Oregon are reporting phantom hums that cause nosebleeds and sudden intense bouts of vertigo. The rational medical take is that this is mass hysteria triggered by low-frequency wind turbine noise. Wind turbines do not cause local magnetic fields to flip 60 degrees within 3 seconds. The leaked 2026 files contain a series of photos from a deep-sea submersible that never returned. The final frame shows a structural failure of the hull caused by something grabbing the titanium sphere. The hand in the reflection is not biological. It looks like a fused cluster of obsidian and fiber optics. This is the activation. The ocean is not just breathing, it is waking up from a long sleep. The signal suggests that the Pacific Basin is acting as a massive, planetary-scale antenna for something else. Is it receiving instructions? Or is it broadcasting our exact coordinates to a point in deep space? In March 2026, the prime number sequence suddenly shifted into a complex, multi-layered binary code. A digital scream. The Navy attempted to silence the signal by dropping depth-charge acoustic disruptors into the primary trench. The result was a total blackout of all communication systems within a 500-mile radius of the blast. When the satellites came back online, the anomaly had grown. It had physically expanded by 10 miles. Every rational expert at the UN claims this is an underwater volcanic eruption of unprecedented scale. Volcanic eruptions do not emit encrypted data packets that can override military-grade firewalls. The 2026 data leak proves that the breathing is actually a massive heat exchange system for a buried engine. Something is cooling itself down. Or perhaps it is warming the water to prepare for a surfacing. If the ocean temperature rises by 5 degrees in a month, the global food chain collapses instantly. The static mouth is currently inhaling millions of gallons of seawater and exhaling a strange, metallic mist. Ships that enter the mist report structural failure of their navigational computers and a sense of dread. The sailors describe the sound of 1,000 voices whispering in a language that feels anciently familiar. The Navy is not trying to study it. They are trying to contain a localized collapse of physical reality. The 2026 leak included a map of the nodes, 12 identical signals appearing in every major ocean. The Atlantic is now mimicking the Pacific. The breathing has become a synchronized global rhythmic event. It is a heartbeat. The planet has a second heart that we have been walking over for millennia. The official narrative will tell you that the coastal evacuations are due to extreme weather patterns. You do not use armed National Guard units to evacuate a town for a simple storm. They are moving people away because the mist is beginning to drift inland toward our major cities. The mist carries the signal, and the signal is designed to interface with the human nervous system. The rogue oceanographer's last post was a single sentence. "The blueprint was under us the whole time." He disappeared 2 hours later. His entire digital footprint was scrubbed from the internet by federal agents. Why are they so afraid of a sound coming from the bottom of the dark, cold sea? Because the 2026 evidence suggests the ocean is not a geographic feature. It is a life support system. And the life support system has decided that the current inhabitants of the surface are no longer required. The prime numbers have stopped. The signal has transitioned into a single, continuous, bone-shaking tone. This is the sound of a structural failure in the veil between our world and the anomaly. If you live within 50 miles of a coastline, you need to check your local water levels. If the tide stays out for more than 6 hours, it is not coming back. It is loading. The 2026 data indicates that the water is being pulled into the trench to build internal pressure. When that pressure is released, the ontological shock will be the last thing our civilization ever experiences. The ocean is breathing, and it has just held its breath for the very last time today. Are you hearing the hum in your ears right now? Or is it just the fan of your computer? Check the walls. Are they vibrating with a frequency that feels like a heartbeat against your skin? The Navy can't silence it because the signal is coming from inside the molecules of the water. You can't run from a threat that is already inside every cell of your hydrated human body. The 2026 leak was just the warning. The activation is already complete, and the static mouth is open. What will you do when the first geometric shadow rises from the surf on your local beach? Post your location and the current hum level in the comments. We need to track the spread. Do not go near the water. The ocean is no longer yours to swim in or sail. The signal is the only truth left. Listen to it until the screen goes black. Stay safe.